Hi, how you doing? This is Mike. This is my first video on here, as you can see. If you found my page, what I'm going to be talking about today is, if you can see here, obviously if you need to watch this video, you already know how to take your PlayStation apart. So I'll be talking about the little guy that used to go right here, which is actually the cord that's right here that runs to your fan, and of course we need that to keep the PlayStation cooled down so we can keep playing it as much as we possibly can. What happens is usually, first timers go to clean their machines and they get a little overzealous, or they don't know how things work, and this is what I did. I found out cleaning at my local video game store was more than I wanted to pay, so I decided to do it myself. How hard could it be? And this is the little guy here, if you can see it. He used to sit right in here. Okay, and then it was hooked to these wires right here that ran to your fan. Everything was fine, but when I pulled, I was trying to take it out just to have it off the motherboard to get to a more clean shot at it, clean it out better, and I ended up ripping the entire unit off. As you can see, the prongs are still there. I need to cut my fingernails, but there, as you can see, it's still in there. I chopped one of the wires off too because I was mad. So, this video is to show you how to bypass this and get your PlayStation back online. I looked and looked and looked, and there were no videos on this, so I figured I'd make one myself, and hopefully I can help you out and you can get your fan unit working again, which in turn will get the whole PlayStation working again. So I'm going to go ahead and disassemble this real quick, and then I'll be right back and we'll go through everything. Okay, and we're back. Okay, as you can see, I took the Blu-ray drive out, pretty much took everything apart. I took the screws out of the fan, but I left it in just to show you exactly what I was doing when this happened. But basically, I was taking it apart, cleaning it. It wasn't really a dirty system. I had it for about a year, and I am a smoker, so I figured it was going to be nothing but dust bunnies, the way I've heard some of these PlayStations come out. And I actually do cleaning, so I see them, and they're absolutely horrible. But you got to keep them clean. It's like a car. It's like any machine. If you don't keep it clean and it gets dirty, it's just going to cause problems for everybody. So basically, like I said, I was taking it apart and I got to right over here. Okay, this is where this little guy that I showed you before went, and it basically just sat. Here we go. In here. It sat up straight, of course. They don't sit sideways like this, but I really can't get it in. But the three wires came out and they ran directly from here to here, and that was it. There's a piece of tape there holding it. That was it. So when I went to grab it, I pulled it, and I pulled it basically right out. So this is just a memento. I keep it in my spare parts bag over there. So I went on YouTube, of course, because that's the place to find everything, and could not find a video showing this, so that's why I'm doing this today. I'm really hoping that I can help somebody out. If I can help one person, that's great, because I was ecstatic when I got it done. It took me about 3 or 4 tries to figure it out, but it finally worked. So I'll show you what I did, and I'll show you how to what I did to guide the wires through the system so that you weren't putting any pressure on them when you close the plate back up, because you know, of course, this isn't, like I said, it's not bare yet. But, yeah, I'll show you. We'll start right now. Okay, so we'll just take the fan out and put it to the side. And I really don't want to close this up here. I'll just stick this over here for now. This is a controller I'm modding. Okay, so we'll slip this off here. Okay, and that's just where the fan goes. The little hole where I showed you where I pulled the thing out of. Back of the fan, which you can blow out with a can of air if you're cleaning. And then the front wires for the Wi-Fi. Then you get down to your bare motherboard. I know, I have to put new some Arctic 5 on there. It's getting kind of, this is the factory, so I'm probably going to get the yellow light of death eventually. Everybody always does. But, okay, as you can see here, there's 3 wires. Let me get in there for you. There is a black, which is your ground, okay, your brown, which is your power, and then your gray, which controls your fan speeds. The hotter it gets, the more power it gets. This fix will run your fan at a nice slow speed, not slow enough that it's blowing hot all the time. I've never ever had an issue. This has been 6 months I'm going on now with this fan connection and have had absolutely no problems whatsoever. So if you do it right, you shouldn't have any problems either. But if you do mess it up, this is not my fault. Soldering is kind of tricky. You do have to solder, as you see here. I have 20 gauge wire, I believe. I got 3 separate colors. It came in a roll of 3, so that actually worked out pretty good. And I just matched up whatever color. I matched the black with the black because obviously that was the easiest one to do. And then I made the red the power wire, and the green the gray wire. Because gray, green, start with a G. Easy to remember, whatever. Okay, so where you ripped it from, okay? That would be right here. Move these wires out of the way. Right there. Okay. So I had a friend that looked at it. He ripped it off and tried to super glue it on there to just, to get a quick fix. Obviously that didn't work, as you can see. Okay? But if you take your system, I have to kind of do it gently because I still have my fan hooked up. And you just flip it over. Right on the other side. Right, it's directly underneath. If you just watch me flip it over, okay? That's where the piece was. See right there. Okay, flip it over. Right on the other side of that, there'll be 3 points. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Of course, they won't have a big giant ball of solder on it, so don't make fun of my soldering. I did have to do it a couple times before I got it. All you need is the tip of the wire to be touching. Get a nice little ball of solder on there. I should actually take some of that off. That looks horrible. I'm kind of embarrassed. But here, let me peel back this tape. This is just to help guide the wires through the system so that it was easier to put the lid on. Just bear with me for 1 second here. Should have had this done before I started, but so there. Now you can see the colors, so we can tell you which one's which. Okay, like I said, kept my black as the ground. So the ground would be the middle, and your power was the red. So that would be, depending on where you're holding it, the top, or I soldered it from the side, so it was the right side. And your gray wire, or green in this case on this side, would be on the far left. Okay? So the way I wound it is there's a little tiny gap under here under the tape. Little gap. You can get all three. It's 20 gauge wire. You can get all three of them in that gap. And then just tape it down as best as you can. You can leave the contact points open. They're not going to start a fire or anything. You'll be alright. And then you just tape it over the side here. And as long as you have it, like I said, underneath this tape, there's a little groove right about here. That's where all three of my wires are going through that groove, so that there's nothing putting any pressure on those wires, so we're not disrupting any power flow at all. Okay? So you get your solder on there, you get your wires on, you flip it over, and right about here is where that gap was. So that's where I ran my wires through. And I soldered them to each of the power wires. Or not power wires. Each of the three wires, the power, the ground, and the gray one. I'll just call it the gray one. You know what it's for. And then all you have to do, you might want to leave, I mean, I have about, between the front and the back, probably about 6 inches of wire. I mean, you probably won't even need that much. But I just wanted to make sure that I had enough to get there. This is my first time ever doing it, but I wanted to make sure I had enough to get the fan back in where it goes, which is right about here when everything's on. But, okay, right now I'll just show you how I slip the case back on the top, if I can find it. Here, it's over here. Okay, so here's the wires. Okay, so the case would you have to go up over the top. Remember to get your jacks in the back in there. And then just work your wires around so that they don't get smushed in there. And as long as you stayed in that groove, your wires should end up coming right up in here. And as you can see, you have a good half an inch there between the metal here and where the casing would end, so these wires are not in the way. Okay, so when you run them back, the way I did it is I took the fan, plopped it back in, made sure the board was set. I even got a little of my I gotta clean that up before I put that back together. But anyway, if you run them along here, that's what I did. Just push them down. They're nice and flat. You can even put more electrical tape here if you want, because obviously this area is open because you ripped the wire out. You can put another piece there if you want. You don't really have to. And remember when you're putting them to slide them underneath this little hook thing on the side here. You can't really do it until it's on, until I actually put the top on, but you would slide them under here to make sure that they're out of the way. But as long as you do that, your fan should kick on no problem. And you have a working unit again. So I'm going to put it back together and turn it on, and then you can hear it, and it doesn't sound like a jet engine. It doesn't sound like it's going to kill you. It sounds like a normal PlayStation fan, except that it runs all the time and it keeps it cool all day. So let me put this baby back together. We'll turn it on, and that'll be it. Okay, so we're back and we have everything put together. We got the power source, fan, drive. The only thing it's not on, of course, is the lid. You can see, if I take this out, right down in here where these wires are, that's where I was telling you to thread them before. Right under there is where they'll fit. So if you come up under here, you can throw a piece of electrical tape there and it'll hold it, or you don't. Really doesn't need it. Screw your fan back in, these back up, put your front on, and then at the top of the PlayStation, like I said, you should know how to do this. If you've ripped the fan off, then you already know how to open it. Goes on front to back. Make sure everything's lined up. All the seams. Then you flip that bitch over. Pop your screws in. That one, of course, you don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your little blue one down here. And the front of the hard drive. Just stick that back on and put that screw in. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'll be right back, and then we'll plug it in and I'll show you how it works. Alright, and we're back. And here's the unit all put together. The hard drive's in. I can't seem to find the cover for it. Oh, here it is. I'll just pop that back on. Somehow, maybe. No, whatever. We don't need it right now. Alright, so put everything in except the tabs because I think I lost them. And the Torx screws. I usually put them on just to hold it together. But that's it. So let's plug it in and we'll see if it works. I know it does. On TV. Or on this. Alright. We got red light. Oh no. It's not working. It's taking forever. Unbelievable. Warning. So now I don't have don't have my controller that's supposed to hook up to this. That was a text message. Doing this on my phone. Set it up, you can see everything works. We're online already. And if you want to listen, let me see. That's not the fan. Alright, if you listen, you got the TV on, PlayStation running, controller's good. That's just an LED. It moves everything. Everything's back to normal. All your buttons, blah blah blah. Everything works. And if you listen, you don't hear that fan. Because it's on medium, and that's where it's going to stay. And your PlayStation's back to normal. So I hope this helped you. Don't break your PlayStation. If you do it wrong, it's not my fault, and I am not affiliated with Sony. So do not call me that. Thank you, and I hope to help you out.